Hi, I'm Angela. I currently work part-time in the recruitment team at OzChild, but I started with OzChild when they were Foster Care Westernport back in October 1994 as a full-time case manager. Back then we had a team at the Dandenong office in Foster Street and a team at Mornington. The team at Dandenong, we were based in a little two-storey house that downstairs had a small lounge and a garden area for access for children and their parents, and upstairs an area where the workers were based. So as full-time case managers, we also had the role 1 day a week of sharing the responsibility for intake and recruitment. We didn't have computers as such, we had word processors where we could type reports, type court reports, type assessments. The referrals that we were receiving were pretty much 50% voluntary and 50% statutory. And the intake team, we would write the referrals into an exercise book. So we weren't getting a lot of detail about the children coming through. The information on the carers was on little cards in a little box, so we would go through the cards, identify the carer that would be suitable for the match. So it looks a little bit different now in terms of, about 90% of the children are coming through child protection. So the role that the carers had, perhaps closer connections with the birth parents, because they had a more active role particularly the voluntary placements. Training that the carers undertook was quite different to today. The assessments were psychosocial assessments, not the step-by-step assessments that they do today. And also the program was targeted just for children from babies due to age 12, and it was a number of years later that OzChild then moved to extending the age group to age 18. And I guess we had a much more relaxed, informal relationship with the carers back then, where you'd catch up with them sort of informally, morning teas, for a coffee. Yeah, so you were really sort of forging some strong relationships with the carers, and I think one of the things that I remember is I attended a training about 20 years ago, and the key focus was on attachment and bonding and the importance of children learning how to attach and bond and form relationships. And I guess what really resonated with me was the significance of the role of a carer to help children form relationships. The focus of Foster Care Westernport back then was about providing that safe, nurturing environment, but it was about helping children create relationships, create partnerships, and that still is a strong element of OzChild today. And I guess one of the things that I recognise that's changed over the years is our focus now with carers is around understanding trauma and how that impacts on children's emotional well-being, on their behaviour. And also I think we've moved towards understanding the role of culture in children's lives and the significance of that and identity and belonging. But I guess what probably really resonates with me is, and what really underpins OzChild, is the core values of OzChild have continued over those years. I often think about a story that one of the carers told me about 20 years ago. It was about a young boy who came into care. Well, he had some shoes, but they had holes in them, and he was always getting his feet wet wherever he went. And the carer organised for a pair of shoes. They were second-hand shoes, but he was so thrilled with the shoes that he used to wear them to bed. And she gave him a toothbrush, and he was constantly brushing his teeth. So the significance of the story is, for me, that this child really felt a sense of belonging and connectedness with the foster family, and they recognised, and their children recognised, what a difference they were making in his life. The book is, it's really inspirational in terms of looking at OzChild's history, recognising that there's been so many players that have been part of the journey with OzChild, with carers, staff that have been part of many children's journeys in care and made a difference in their lives. So it's really great to sort of read that history and get a snapshot of what it was like.